radar. Approaching drop point.
Telling a compelling narrative requires three things: world building, characters, and story. Leaning too heavily in any one of these can stifle and limit the others, but that's not the case here. With BioWare's first entry, they do an incredible job of investing us into their universe, with an emphasis on said world building. And the way it does it is the strongest I've ever seen in nearly any game trying to sell us on the very same. Not really the lore specifics, but the presentation of it all. By balancing information appropriately and with perfect timing, they complement the characters and story rather than hinder, which as fans of the franchise, it's worth appreciating and understanding how they struck this balance. This is Mass Effect. Major spoilers. The opening sets the stage so fittingly, with character. We can customize the look of our main character, which I love, because it allows me to dig into the mind of my virtual persona, to roleplay, to really help ground us in the world, as if we belonged. Important for a narrative-driven, choices matter type of game. We're Commander Shepard, a decorated hero with a backstory of our choosing, which is an added benefit of a speedy character introduction. We're shadowed by Nihilus, a Spectre, the Galactic Council's elite special forces, on a top-secret investigation concerning a Prothean artifact that was dug up by the Geth. Saren, another Spectre, is already on the scene, and betrays Nihilus for reasons unknown. As we intervene, we save one of our crewmates from being pumped full of visions from the beacon.
Shepard! No, don't touch it! Too dangerous!
The way this introduction is written is perfect and to the point. We already understand what the Spectres are, who we are, and our mission.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. Oh my god!
That might have been a little extreme, Commander.
Saren is propped up as the main villain, with the Geth, a formidable collective intelligence, as his instrument of war. The Geth being the enemy also gives the player a universal enemy for us to fight, that also has history with a species we befriend. But we don't know why or where Saren is, why the Geth follow him, and we don't know what the visions are about.
Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
The Council can kiss my ass.
This starting point, achievable within the first hour, is a compelling galactic foundation, aka world building, for rich storytelling to unfold.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people.
There's only a sprinkle of character until, and a bit more story is used to push for more world building. To emphasize the point, we have to make our way to and through the Citadel, and the history behind it is as interesting as the structure itself. It's a galactic hub, a crown jewel of widespread cooperation, and an ideal utopia of what can be achieved when different species come together for a shared cause. But it wouldn't be complete without its own social struggles, financial underworlds, and relevant mystique. After reporting to the Citadel and meeting the Council, we're shown that they have to frequently consider the bigger picture. They don't want the bad PR, and politics very much plays a role in their actions, and by extension, your own. But nonetheless, we receive their blessing to uncover evidence of Saren's betrayal, quietly. After doing so, with Tali's help, we're promoted to Spectre. With my newfound authority, I have unfettered access to pursue Saren.
Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Why shouldn't I kill you right here?
Symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Oh my god!
Captain Anderson grants us leadership over the Normandy, meaning we can now decide when and where to go to the various planets in the galaxy. In my experience, it doesn't really affect anything, but it does help to reinforce the idea that we're in charge of how we tackle this mission. A useful immersion tool and a superbly effective illusion. Each planet has its own descriptions, even though most of them aren't traversable. Unfortunately, one thing that was sorely missing were various status effects of the planets. I really wanted different gravities, or handlings on the Mako APC, or more aggressive weather conditions forcing us to not venture too far from it, or climate-controlled structures. But nonetheless, a bit of literal world building before we get back to the story. I choose Noveria to pursue Matriarch Benezia, ally of Saren, and Liara Tassoni's mother, who we meet later. Once at Noveria, we learn that Benezia is at peak 15, which seems to be having communications issues. To secure a pass to leave the port, we're forced to get involved in the local issues and thwart the immediate corruption.
I've heard an Asari matriarch is here. Venezia?
I will not allow you to harass our clients.
I don't have time for this. Get the hell out of here or I'll start shooting.
I'll see that you never work in this sector again.
Yeah, get a move on.
After we reach Peak 15, it appears there's some sort of arachnid outbreak. We repair the station and eventually apprehend Matriarch Venezia. Turns out, she was trying to take control of the Queen Rachni to bolster Saren's forces. So I imprison her in hell, along with her friend. This formula is repeated a number of times, but it's not any less effective each time. We reach a planet, learn about it, solve the issues that impede our own mission, contemplate the end result, do some character work, and it's on to the next one. We might not notice because the objectives may be different, like when we rescued Liara, shortly after assassinating her mother, before we're back on the Normandy. It's in these moments of rest that we have some time to visit the stations of our crew and companions involved in the greater narrative. These moments are pivotal at investing us into our characters.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command, sir.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Each one has fleshed out histories, personalities, traumas, motivations. Their personal stories again build out the world.
He deserved it.
It killed him, Shepard. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later.
Their responses are also affected by the decisions we've made during the missions. It's further influenced by how we navigate the conversation.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
Yeah.
So long, Rex.
We can shut down their complaining, support it, maintain neutrality, and it all goes into constructing our relationships, not just in-game, which has its own benefits, but on the meta level. The relationships we, the player, have with the character. And even for myself, as robotic as I may seem at times, find myself actually flinching at mistreating them when we've been through the gamut together.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet.
It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
It stays with the Alliance.
I just wish it wasn't at my people's expense.
For all intents and purposes, they feel like real people. People that we can influence or be influenced by to varying degrees that may stagger throughout the story.
You made the right decision, sir.
Which is a weighty attribution of the character writing that enriches the universe in which we travel.
You found Rachni on Nevaria?
Found them and wiped them out. Do you take pleasure from committing genocide, Shepard?
Depends on the species, Turian.
This capacity to invest us isn't limited to just our crewmates. It extends to the environment around us. The world building is like none other of its time. The detailed codex gives us history, the interaction between the species due to said history, all come together to create a cohesive and intriguing lore.
Because it's a big, stupid jellyfish.
A point extrapolated on by visiting Feros. The local colony Exogeny is under heavy siege. Saren sent the Geth to find the Thorian, a sentient plant-like species that uses spore to enslave its subjects. Exogeny is the founding company of this colony, and we're using the colonists as test subjects.
That was a good one. Very intense.
What's the matter with you?
Once we handle the Geth, we seek out the Thorian ourselves. Perhaps studying the effects of mind control can elucidate something about the indoctrination that we learn about later in the story. The subtle mind-controlling effects Sovereign employs on his subjects to do his bidding. Or not. After the conflict, we learn what Saren was after. A cipher. It's not an object, but more of an experience. Like, well, I'll just let her explain it.
Beacon on Eden Prime gave you visions. But the visions are unclear, confusing. They were meant for a Prothean mind. The cipher is the very essence of being a Prothean.
She injects the cipher into my head, and I inject a little something into hers. Liara helps us make sense of things.
You look pale.
My brain's been scrambled like an egg.
This drip feed of information controls the pacing so well. It's worth noting that these images are the same information we received at the start of the game. All we're doing is slowing them down as we progress. So rather than feeling like repetition, it feels more like revelation.
That was incredible.
Everything we've learned about the world building and character relationships thus far is tested on Virmire. It's here we can feel the casualties of war. It revolves around the Krogan species.
He's using the facility to breed an army of Krogan.
How is that possible?
Apparently, Saren has discovered a cure for the genophage. We introduced the genophage to the Krogan population after the uprising, to quell their numbers. Without it, the Krogan will quickly overrun the galaxy.
Our people are dying. This cure can save them. You want to destroy it. The lines between friend and foe are getting a little blurry.
He'll destroy them as soon as they're no longer useful to him. Is that what you want for your people?
All right, Shepard. You've made your point. I don't like this, but I trust you enough.
I don't think so, friend.
Are you all right?
I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than he is.
Yeah, I guess so.
I decided that a resurging population of Krogans could interfere with human success. And we can't have that now, can we?
Leave his body here to rot.
As we attack Saren's compound, I'm forced to offer up a companion to lead a Solarian squad. During the raid, there's a moment of all-time great reveals in which our lingering questions are to be answered during an unexpected meeting with a force of nature.
Some kind of VI interface?
Saren isn't the threat we thought he was.
Sovereign isn't just some Reaper ship Saren found. It's an actual Reaper.
You exist because we allow it, and you will end because we demand it.
As we're arming the nuke, the Solarians continue to take heavy casualties as a result of the diversion. Their position is being overrun, and for us to succeed, someone is to be sacrificed. Sorry, Caden. My subs are soulless.
Fight hard, Lieutenant. Die proud.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Saren defends, and it's here we start to understand his position and motives. We have some more character work. He believes,
I'm not doing this for myself. I'm forging an alliance between us and the Reapers. And in doing so, I will save more lives than have ever existed.
but if anyone's doing any enslaving, it's gonna be humans. We successfully repel Saren, detonate the nuke, obliterating the genophage cure, and Liara massages my brain once again for some of that sweet, juicy drip feed. Through it, we glean the location of a secret Prothean planet, report to the Citadel, and are rewarded with betrayal.
Until further notice, you're grounded.
Nobody stabs me in the back, Udina. Nobody.
Not a big deal, thanks to Anderson.
Get us out of here, Joker. Now!
In transit to Ilos, I have to make good on my promise. To humanity and to my subscribers.
Be careful. Please don't do that. That has never happened to me before.
I had better go. Duty calls.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
What?
Ash, Liara and I broke up. Do you think you can console me with your beautiful body? Please, we can discuss this.
I need time to think.
Listen, I have to get something out of my head. That didn't work. I need to try something else. The galaxy may need me here, but I need you next to me.
Commander,
On Ilos, secret research base of the Protheans, we meet an AI caretaker, one forced to slowly end the lives it supervises to manage power reserves, waiting for an opportunity to inform future generations. We learn more backstory of the Reapers and the Protheans alike, every detail, like a well-fitting puzzle piece.
When the Citadel relay is activated, the Reapers will pour through, and all you know will be destroyed.
He tells us the true purpose of the conduit. It's a backdoor to the Citadel, which is a giant mass relay linking to dark space, where the Reapers await. Sovereign intends to activate the Citadel for the invasion to begin, and begin it does. With the support of the Geth Armada, Sovereign attacks. He attempts to use Saren and the Keepers to turn control of the Citadel mass relay over to him. The Council is sacrificed in exchange for an opportunity, but also, fuck him.
We're not sacrificing human lives to save the Council.
My shipper doesn't care about politics because he's a big dumb brute anyway. With the defeat of Saren and the coordinated effort of the Galactic Fleet, we achieve a minor victory. And as we pick up the pieces, we capitalize on a new Council vacancy. Humanity steps forward, assuming the other Citadel species will continue to unite against this new overwhelming common enemy. A new world is built for future installments, with nuanced characters, for a story to be concluded. It really feels like we've been on a galaxy-spanning adventure, gathering the most unique and capable individuals across all species and political affiliations to complete our mission. The way the pieces are positioned, with a history of war between a few species or positions of others in relation to the Council, each one clamoring for respect and recognition as integral contributors to the collective, and the resentment that they hold for not getting it. Each stroke of character and every deed, every qualm, a droplet worth of burdens among millions of inhabitants. But with enough drops, the weight on the shoulders of the representatives tests the fortitude of those nominated to bear it.
You're afraid you'll lose the baby, just like you lost your brother. I had to kill people for these discs. This is how a gun in your face feels.
It's across the backdrop of an ancient extinct species with a mysterious dissolution.
Like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared.
Could it be a species of sentient machines wiped them out? Or is it just superstitious nonsense?
The Protheans tried to fight, and they were utterly destroyed.
After all, the Geth themselves seem capable of the very same. Given sufficient time, perhaps the Geth will become our Reapers.
The pattern has repeated itself more times than you can fathom.
The limited delivery of information of impending doom through Prothean artifacts and dated messages create a believable doomsaying wariness not easily shrugged off. It has a meta effect. As we begin to care about our fellow crewmates, we try harder as the player, alongside Shepard, to solve the mystery. Mass Effect expertly transitions from each of the three categories to keep the adventure from treading the same ground, despite actually repeating the formula. The exception is it's more of a 50-25-25. Being that this is the first game, they need to establish the galaxy. Each main planetary mission demonstrates all of these attributes to some degree. The result is a complex, believable, and sensible universe, making it easy to understand and immerse ourselves into. The balancing act adds nuance to the characters and furthermore adds impact to the story. It's a unifying experience with a gratifying pseudo-conclusion with room for narrative expansion. Nearly a decade since I've played Mass Effect, and I remember the species, the conflicts, the tensions, the lore, the history, even if hazy on the details. To be able to occupy a player's mindset for years is a testament to the game's successful world building. So when combined with careful information management and parity of character and story, what we are left with is a monumental standard for future RPGs.